to you on our Zoom. Ladies, we are here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. First of all, let me
Hello.
apologize. I didn't realize, it just didn't dawn on me that today was Father's Day when we agreed on today, because usually it's every third Sunday for us, unless there's a holiday or something. And it just didn't dawn on me. I have so many moving pieces going on right now that it just did not dawn on me. So I like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and hopefully something we say today will benefit you as well. My name is Dr. Lakeisha McGee, and I am the founder of the Heal Her 2 Foundation. And today we are here for another Survivor Sunday. This is our every third Sunday, unless there's a holiday and or a schedule mix up. We will change it. But today we're here. So today we're going to have our two guests, Angela Robinson and Elva Brooks Mitchell, to tell their stories. But before they get started, just let me tell you a little bit about our foundation. It's called the Heal Her 2 Foundation. I started this foundation when I was in treatment myself. And you can go to our website, www.healher2, heal, Heal, her, Her, the number two, foundation.org, and learn all about our organization. We have several programs. We have scholarships. We provide a pink box for someone who is in treatment. And it usually affects women. We know that, but we also know that men are affected by breast cancer, which today would have been perfect to have a male on here. Y'all forgive me, charge it to the brain, not to the heart. But yes, men are affected by breast cancer by 3%. And we know this. So we want to continue to educate ourselves, women and men, on breast cancer and how it affects our bodies. So before we get started, I'm going to start off with Angela. I met Angela at a breast cancer event. She was my makeup artist at the event. So Angela Robinson is a licensed esthetician and makeup artist from Santa Monica, California, with over 30 years of experience in the beauty and skincare industry. After the loss of a family member and two close childhood friends, she started to explore wider issues for cancer patients and discovered that self-image and personal care is ignored for adults, children, and youths with cancer, often because it is too emotionally painful to cope with going to places to face the perception of pity from the general public's actions and or words. Angela realized that she could use her expertise, experience, and contacts to address this issue within our community by providing a wide range of personal care services in luxurious, fun, and safe environments that are tailored to patients and survivors of cancer individual needs. She founded the 501c3 nonprofit organization FACT Foundation Incorporated in 2015 and is committed to uplifting the human spirit by creating opportunities to capture unforgettable memories for those affected by cancer, one face at a time. Thank you, Angela, for being here today. Thank you, thank
That's
you.
lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, the event that we were in together, it was absolutely beautiful. I'm often I'm not afraid to show my scars. So this event we did was a breast cancer shoot, and we were topless, and it was beautiful though the way that they adorned us with garments, and we were able to show our scars, and um, it was beautiful. I am just blown away. It was absolutely beautiful. So Angela, I'm gonna go ahead and read Elva's bio as well, so then we get started. We can just keep going. Elva, thank you for being here with us today. Elva Brooks Mitchell is a 2020 breast cancer survivor. She's a mother of four adult children, two adult grandchildren, a caregiver to her parents, grandmother, older brother, and herself. Currently a caregiver to an Alzheimer's patient. Through the trials and tribulations, holding on to God has brought her through. Her tests are her testimonies. Her goal is to share her story to give someone else a bit of hope. To God, I give all the glory and the praise. Elva, thank you for being here again with us. So, Elva, let's get started. Tell me about your I'm sorry with you, Angela. Angela, tell me about your journey with starting your organization for survivors.
Oh, yes, thank you. is, you know, a long journey. I watched a family member go through cancer. I watched um, the long-term effects it had on the body, the mind, and it was like a rapid. Um,
You're going in and out. I can't hear
am
you.
I?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
hear me
yeah.
now? Is that better?
Yeah, it's just going in and out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better? I know my earpiece sometimes gets a little.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's your earpiece. Yeah. I can hear
Okay.
you now.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, it was a close cousin of mine. Um,
Hmm.
and I was at her bedside till nearly the end of her journey. And I watched as, I seen the changes in her physical, but at the end of the day, I mean, her spirit, I mean, her courage, was such an inspiration during that time. And I was in kind of like a place of like, what am I going to do in the next chapter of my life? I kind of was in like this point where sometimes, like in your career, you kind of go through this, I don't know if they call it like a midlife something, and you feel like you're happy with what you're doing, but you want to do more. You feel like you were made for something more. You have something in this world you need to do that God wants you to do. And I just really didn't have a clue what that was at that time. But as I, spent time with my cousin, and I
Hmm.
saw what was taking place, and I saw, the effects that it did have on her from time to time, going through the physical changes as they were progressing, you
Hmm.
know, it was like this light just came on, and I was like, wow, okay, I could really use my talents and my gifts to impart, on these ladies and individuals that are going through this uh, terminal illness. And so I thought, hey, why don't I, start doing makeup services? And at that time, this was even before I became a licensed esthetician.
Hmm.
So it was started off just makeup. And then once I got licensed as an esthetician, I started to study more on, how I could help, women with cancer also be able to take better care of their skin as well. And so I ended up forming the foundation, Face Art Creative Team, and getting all the footwork done in 2015. And then we officially became 501(c)(3) in 2016. And I have been hosting, I would say more like luxurious private spa events where I have the ladies or even men, and I do also a children's event where they come to a place and they get like manicures, pedicures, some if they can get massages, facials, makeup, and we do like a photo shoot, and they can bring a family member or caregiver or someone that is close to them that show them support on the journey with them to participate in the event and take photos and just take them in with them. So that's been basically a really really awesome journey. Been wonderful and seeing the impact that something doing something like this has had, in my community and in the
Hmm.
community of those that I've helped, and they absolutely love it. And I'm just blessed that I could be a part of something bigger, and I
So
love what I do.
thank you for sharing your headphone. It's definitely your headphone because I can hear it popping in and out.
Okay, maybe I'm
Um,
taking this out. Let me.
yeah, because it's popping in and out. I can hear like every other word, and I can tell because once it
Oh,
pops in, it
okay.
gets loud. So my
Hold on.
question was,
I want to be on speaker because I don't want to keep
okay,
going in.
okay.
Okay, there you go.
My question was, were you a part of your cousin's care team?
Not exactly. No, because as far as by the time she really found out she had cancer, it was a little too late.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you did say it was rapid, so
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah.
y'all might hear my grandson talking today. He's with me.
Okay.
But I heard you say it was rapid. So okay, so there was no time really for a care team or no interventions, no strategies for any type of treatment planning or anything.
Um, Sort of, but it was really it was just, and the cancer had already spread. Um, and just the physical changes were going just really, really fast. She did go through some chemo. And she did start going through physical changes really fast. She did, but they tried everything, and it was just at that point, it was pretty much nothing they could do. But she did want to try, to see if the treatments could help, but it no.
So your services, are they for just the person that's in treatment or are they for the caregiver as well?
Caregiver as well. Yes. Yes. I attended that because I was kind of trying to find the gaps in where the women on their cancer journey were kind of being underserved, in a sense, as far as when it came to people who were offering services similar to mine. Because I did research and I did find that there were other foundations out there that offered, beauty service, personal care services. However, most of the services that were being offered were more so where they would go to maybe like the hospitals, or, and they were nice. However, but I think that the women there were kind of more so appreciative that my foundation in particular kind of, I would say, went above and beyond to really tailor a more relaxing experience for them, something that was more, I would say, thought out, as far as giving them more like a vacation away from what they were dealing with. So what I would do is I would have like luxurious homes. Like I would like have them come to like luxurious homes where they have like a very nice pool setting, very spa-like, very tranquil, like a bed and breakfast kind of environment. And we would perform these services where they could really relax. And then the locations where the homes would be, or the locations would be, we would have like a location photo shoot for them. We would get the women all beautiful, they do their hair, or give beautiful wraps. However, it was very similar to what we did at the event that you came to. So this is pretty much like that, but except for it's not for like a calendar or anything per se, but it has that same concept. We go to the homes, we beautify the ladies, give them a day to relax, have food, and then they would have their photo shoot with their family member or caregiver. And yeah, and they take the memories home with them. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay. I understand.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. So what has been your biggest challenges with providing your services to um, patients?
Well, the biggest challenge have been really finding I would say, support, as far as from I would say vendorships. I think that had kind of been a challenge because when I started, I was funding everything myself. And the parties were really expensive, very expensive. And then, you know, I don't know, I was finding that people were a little bit more, I would say, a little selfish with their time. I think that was like my biggest challenge, if I'm going to be really candid. But, you know, to God be the glory, things ended up working out because I found an alternative route to go about getting my events done and still making it very, like a very relaxing and great experience for my ladies. So I'm happy with
the direction I'm going. It was just trying to figure those things out. Because, you know, you have some people that say, yeah, I'm committed, I'm ready to go. And then the day of the event, oh, came up, or I can't make it. You know, you go through those things. So now I think I'm in a more sweet spot so where I can have my events and don't have to worry about those little kinks and things not working out. But I think that was my biggest challenge, was really, you know, that was it. But everything
So
else is pretty smooth.
So have you now have you have partnerships with other collaborators for your events? Like the one that we did, was that in a partnership or were you brought on board for that or how did that work out?
Yeah, I was brought on board by Anidra Jordan. I met her actually when I first initially started my nonprofit. She was at Susan G. Komen. I believe she was like a team director over there for for the committee that hosts events for the organization and things like that, a coordinator. And I was just at the time when I was trying to hold my first event, I was calling like all these places, you know, trying to get some support, figure out, you know, how I can make this experience really great for the ladies. And somehow I got a hold of her at Susan G. Komen, and she was such a dream. She was so nice. And she said, well, yeah, you know, come on down to the LA office. It was right by the LAX. She was like, come on down. I have some stuff I can, you know, donate to you, some t-shirts, some information, some cards, some information. Just come grab it. I said, great. So I went down to the office, met our Nidra, and she gave me so many nice items to give to the ladies for their grab bags. She gave me like beauty products, t-shirts, pamphlets. She was awesome. And then we have been friends ever since. And so I started volunteering with her and her team for different Coleman events. And we just kept in touch. So when she would have events with Coleman and needed someone to come and support our volunteers, she would call me. And then when she moved on to Black Women for Wellness, she contacted me and told me about the event that they needed a makeup artist for the ladies. And that's how I ended up there. Yeah.
So Arnidra was supposed to be a guest on here tonight with you, but she is over in London right now. I think well, I know she's traveling, her and little Mason. So they were supposed to be here tonight. But at that time, she was
Nice.
over the Circle of Promise.
Yes. You're you're
She was over Circle of Promise program.
yes.
That's what it was. Yeah. So Arnidra is one of my good friends as well. I appreciate all her support. And she introduced me to the wellness program as well. So I appreciate her. So Elva, tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, um, everything just seemed like things started happening in 2017. My mother passed. I had to have neck surgery. I had to have back surgery in 2018. 2019, diagnosed with the sarcoma. And then 2020, I had the bilateral mastectomy. And for me, my blessing out of that is that I didn't have to do any chemo or any radiation. So that was the blessing. If I want to look at it as a curse, the curse was the depression that I kept myself in. So, and I'm still going through, but it's not as bad as what it was. Um, Being in my 60s and having my girls with me, you know, majority of my life when they had to be removed, I did not look to myself as being a beautiful person anymore. Support, I had extended family, I had my children, but everybody had their own lives to live. And I am not the type of person to really push for somebody to be there. So a lot of times I was just alone. It was hard. I seek therapy. I'm still doing therapy because there are things that I just haven't been able to get over with. But I feel guilty. Um, just
Why do you
recently,
feel guilty?
one of my younger cousins who left 5 kids just passed away 2 weeks ago. And she was fighting and struggling
From breast
to
cancer?
live, to be there for her kids. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And yes, so she had breast cancer and she passed away.
Mm.
She had been going through her treatments and everything. And for me, when I heard that, or even when I hear other people's stories about their losing their loved ones, that's when my depression hits in and I ask myself, well, why am I still here? What is the reason? What is it that I did? Or what is there anything that I could have done differently to help somebody out? And so feeling that way, it causes that anxiety to build up. I had the anxiety today. I didn't know how I was going to make it here with you. Worried about my story, thinking about my cousin, even though, I'm not close to her because she's the age of my son, close to her 40s. So it's like this age gap, and I'm still here. My kids, I'm able to see all of my kids become adults. I'm able to see my grandchildren being adults. And there are people that I hear stories from, and their families don't get that. So that guilt rests on me. And I know it's something that I shouldn't do or I shouldn't have, but I just think about that and it consumes me. And when I was going through that time, well, no, let me take it back. When I was told that I had breast cancer, I didn't go home to my kids. I went to the beach and I sat at the beach in the car and I cried. And then I put my kids on a family talk to share with them what had happened with me. So it's like I didn't have my mom, I didn't have my dad. I'm thinking at that time, okay, my dad passed away with prostate cancer, but he was 97, so he got to live his life. My mother passed away with pancreatic cancer, but she was 87. She got to live her life. And here it is. I wasn't even 60 when I was diagnosed, and I didn't know how much time I was going to have. And and I'm a worry ward. So I tried to fix everything, but I couldn't fix me, you know. So with that being like that, it was like, what do I do? And then the pandemic came out. So that made it even worse. So I couldn't have my surgery when I was supposed to have it because the first patient at the hospital I was supposed to go to died from COVID, and they weren't allowing us to have any surgeries. So I had to wait. And that waiting was hard. And then when I had it done and when I woke up and I was all bandaged up, I lost me. I lost me. I mean, I lost 13 pounds behind of it, and I was like, oh, that's a good thing. I done lost the weight, but I lost me. And everybody that I talk to, they remind me that I am a survivor, and I wasn't taking it as that I am a survivor. I didn't see myself as a survivor, and I'm still at that point where I'm trying to get 100%. Nice. Let me put it on.
I got mine on because I'm trying to block out my grandson's noise
I
so you can
know.
hear.
And I'm trying to get mine's. Mine's just died on me. But can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you, definitely.
Okay.
Can I say just a few things to what you
Mhm.
said? First and foremost, I appreciate you being so um transparent with us, because it's difficult to share about your journey and to share that you've experienced some depression, because it is real. It is definitely real. And if you don't have support, which I'm glad that you sought out some type of counseling, if you don't have support, it is difficult. It is very hard. I prolonged my surgery. I waited because I found out in November, and in January is when I had surgery. But I had to make sure that there was a surgeon, a plastic surgeon in there, so that I did not leave the hospital without any breast. I wasn't one who wanted to be flat. And mentally, that would have done something far worse to me leaving completely flat. So to hear you talk about your journey with the leaving and the bandage, and I I could not have done it. So I just applaud you for, and you said you were 60 at the time. That's a whole different, like you said, your girls have been with you for so long. That was a lot to process. And then being a caregiver for others and not feeling like you had a caregiver for you at that time, that was a lot. That was a lot. So I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you survived and that you're able to share your story, that you have a smile. And as you said, you're still going through, but that's what we're all going through, something or another. We're all still processing something daily. So the fact that you continue to process it and continue to want to do better is amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. Keep going. We're listening.
Oh, well, it's, for anybody that's there that's listening, please note that you don't have to be alone, just like your organization that you have. And if they don't know about an organization, I mean, I tried to get that care treatment. When I think about it, I didn't have a social worker. My primary got me to my general surgeon. My general surgeon got me to my plastic surgeon, but I really didn't have anybody that I could really talk to directly to. And that's not a good thing. And anybody that does not try to reach out for some type of help, it affects you so bad in the long run. And I really would like to suggest that you seek somebody. If you can't get a social worker, if you can't go to an organization like yours, or even go to Susan Corman and you can't get any assistance there, if you go to church, get with your pastor. Get with somebody that's going to be able to hear you and to give you that support, because I needed hugs. There were times when I needed hugs. I couldn't get a hug. And there were times when I was trying to, I wanted to eat, and I couldn't hold any food down because my nerves were bad. There are nights when I went to sleep crying, and nobody knew what I was doing because I kept my head in my pillows. I didn't want nobody to know. So it's very important that you find some kind of team. And I looked to the team that was there with me after my mom died. That's who I was gravitating to. If I didn't have a way to the doctor, I picked the phone. I kept calling until I could get somebody to give me a ride there. When I had to go for my treatments with my expanders, that was crazy. And if anybody doesn't know what an expander is, that's when you're starting to get your process so you can get your implants in.
That's what I couldn't leave the hospital without. I had to have those expanders. I had to have them. I was not leaving without those expanders. Yes, ma'am. I know exactly what they are. That was the start of me saying, okay, I can deal with this. I'm going home with some expanders. So yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
I really didn't understand about the expanders when I first thought of it, I'm thinking, and forgive me for being naive, but I'm thinking something like a rubber band or something like that.
Well, listen, I didn't know much about breast cancer either until I became a survivor myself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think anyone is prepared unless you have walked with someone through it, then you
Yes.
don't know. So before I was diagnosed, my cousin was diagnosed, but I was in California and my cousin was living in Chicago. So my
Okay.
mother was able to experience some of it with her, walking with her, but I was not there. All I did was to pray and call her and pray for us because I was not physically there. So once again, I was ignorant to things too. And the expanders, I had a great doctor. He explained things. I looked up things, but I knew that those expanders meant some breasts. Somewhere along the line, something was happening where I was going to have some breasts. And because I was so mentally like, yes, I'm going to get some breasts, where people said expansion hurt, it didn't bother me. I was I was so excited about having breasts that getting expansions did not hurt. They did not bother me. But most people say that getting your expansions hurt. It didn't bother me. Did it
Yeah,
bother you?
because you already had it, you were still open, so you were able to do it. But when your skin closes back up and they
Well, no, no, no.
suture it back up, and it's like,
When you go every week or every 2 weeks, I can't, when he's expanding them, most people say
uh-huh,
that that hurts to get the expansion. It didn't bother me. It didn't
really?
bother me at all. And I wanted my breasts. So I was excited. Come on, expand these breasts. I don't care. Expand these breasts. Oh, God.
Well, I was so determined. I had always been very heavy chested. So when it came, I told the doctor, I don't want to go more than a C cup. I just want to stay at a C cup because I was at a double G cup. And I was like, I'm cutting down. I don't want all that weight on me again. And then when I got it, and I was like, oh, I can actually see my stomach now. It was just such a big difference. So I try to find ways, even in my lowest point, to laugh at something, because that is just, it's the experience is just, it's hard. It's hard. You try to make it through. My daughter had got some lipstick and wrote on the bathroom mirror, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am here, I am alive. So I can read it, but it also made everybody else in the house read that too. And I kept reading it, but it wasn't connecting. It just wasn't connecting. And so
Angela, I have a question for you while I'm hearing Elva speak about feeling beautiful. The one thing when I was in treatment that I did was I made sure that I had on some lipstick and I made sure I wore some lashes because my lashes, they're literally just starting to grow back, and my eyebrows, I'm still marking them in. So one day they may look one way or another. However, those were important for me to feel beautiful, was that I had those lashes, I had the lipstick on. Um, how do you experience when women come in? Do they speak to you about that, or what do they say when you're making them up? What, like Elva was saying, she didn't feel beautiful. What do they say to you?
Well, fortunately for my experience in the events, majority of the women that I've helped were survivors. And so most of them had their hair grown back already. They have brows, but they did share with me when they were going through their treatment and they were losing their hair and brows and everything, that it was definitely very difficult. I had one lady that came to my event. I actually knew her from high school. And I remember her before all of this ever even happened to her, but she was telling me when she went through her experience, she told me that her nails, her teeth started to rot. She was losing, she said it was really bad. She lost her hair, her eyelashes, her brows. And she said that was like the most devastating experience for her, just to watch her go through that. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, but I actually when she came to my event, she had her hair, she had brows, and so she was so happy to, finally be able to participate in something like that without feeling, just such at a low point. But she really appreciated what I was doing. But I haven't actually literally had a patient come in that was actually going through chemo per se, and that was already, in those stages.
So true story for myself. I felt like chemo was doing more damage on the inside than it was on the outside. I would go live during treatments, and people would say, "You don't look like what you're going through." My girlfriend, bless her soul, she's a beautician in LA, Christiane. She made me a beautiful wig, beautiful. I left the beauty shop that day feeling amazing, but I wore it like from the beauty shop to home because I couldn't wear the wig. I just went bald headed. I just went natural. I don't know. I guess I really just wanted to share the whole process with what I was going through. And because God was blessing me through it, I didn't have that. And another true story, I actually wound up doing a hobby, the women's clothing. Have you guys heard of hobby? It's CABI. It's a women's clothing line. I did a modeling gig for them in the middle of chemo. I literally left radiation and they waited for me and I went and and it turned out beautiful. I was bald headed. I mean, I looked amazing. Like it was so nice. So I think the chemo just affects us differently. Now, on the inside, my body was feeling tired and my legs were hurting and my joints were hurting and things of that nature. And I couldn't see for about a week or so. So it was having those effects. But physically, I didn't mind the bald headed. Like I said, I just had to keep some lashes, things of that nature. But I don't want to say, I guess it was a confidence that I had. I knew that what I was going through, it was meant for everybody to see what I was going through and how I was handling it and coming through it. And that's exactly what I did. I just persevered through it. Um, I want to have ultimately, I want to have a place where people can come so they don't have to go home by themselves when they live alone or when they don't have a caregiver. My goal is to have a recovery house for people who are in treatment. They can come there, stay a week or two. We'll have nurses, we'll have social workers, we'll have people there that can help them eat, help them get up and walk around when they can't. That's my ultimate dream, is to be able to have a recovery house. And you showed me that it's needed, it's necessary because of your situation. It just reminds me to keep going. That is my ultimate dream. I want to be able to provide that for some people when they come out of treatment. So y'all pray for me.
Yes, I totally will. And that's what I had been hearing from majority of the ladies. They appreciate the hospital events, but I think it was just becoming more of kind of like um something that they felt like, oh, nice and appreciative, but it wasn't like this. This made them feel very, supported and appreciated, and not like, in a place where it's already just kind of like they're going through a journey, and it's like they want to get away from the hospital. They want to yeah. So they said this was just like more than they can even have imagined, that somebody would even think enough of them, to put something like that together. And they felt so special, and they loved it. Even when I did my kids events, the mothers of the children, I had one little girl who's had a brain cancer. She had a tumor, and her mom brought her and her sister, her little sister, and they were like this very close in age. They almost looked like twins. But the child, the child patient, she was just a little older, I think by like a year or so. And the mother was telling me how like blessed she felt to be able to come to the event that I was doing, that she had never heard of or seen an event like mine before. She said because majority of the events that her daughter was able to go to were solely for the daughter, solely for the patient. Her sister was never able to join her or participate with her in any of the events, and she would cry because she would want to be with her sister and have fun with her sister, or they would be at the hospitals and they just weren't, her sister wasn't able to come. So when she found out about my event and that her sister was able to come, she thought that was just such a huge blessing, and she was just amazed about everything. And they had the two little girls, they had such a ball together, and it was a great thing to see. So I've been hearing some good things about, the direction and where I'm going with my nonprofit. So my hope is to build it even bigger and to be able to put on more events. I can't hear if you're saying something.
I had lost you all for some reason. I couldn't hear you anymore. We were frozen, so hopefully we're okay now. We can hear. Everybody's unfrozen.
I can hear you.
Oh,
can you hear
me? I can
okay,
hear
yeah,
you.
I can hear you. Okay, yeah, because I had lost you for a minute. Everybody was frozen, so I was trying to figure it out. But that is definitely a wonderful feeling that the mom felt, that this event was special, and it also did something for the sister too. That was amazing, because believe it or not, with my nonprofit, we try to provide some assistance for the caregivers, because the caregivers need support too. My mom was taking care of me, with my children, but my mother was taking care of me and she was getting worn down. So we wanted to do something special for her. And that's why a component of giving back to the caregiver became important, because I saw how it was wearing my mom down. So that is definitely good that the mother felt that way as well. So yeah, Elva,
Mm-hmm.
I know you have adult children, but do they live here live in the same state as you, or what was your everyday support life like?
Uh, well, my oldest daughter and my youngest son with my granddaughter were staying with me at that time. My daughter was working for LA County, and my son didn't drive, so it made it hard. My granddaughter was in her last year of high school. My oldest son, he has muscular dystrophy, so there was very limitations that he could do for me. And then my baby girl, Caleb's twin sister, she was in Sun Valley, so everybody was scattered out in a sense, but like I said, I might ask you once. I might take it to the second time, but if I have to do it 3 times, I just don't have the patience for it. I don't.
So, and I don't know what your financial situation was like, but when I was in treatment, I found out that there are services, and that's another component that we try to do too. If there's someone who needs a ride to their appointments or something, and they contact us and we have the funding, we'll send an Uber, send a Lyft. However, I found out during treatment that there were programs that the county had with Lyft and Uber that provided rides, and even the state that provided rides to and from your appointment.
And see, I didn't know that at the time. Everybody's not educated on the different things that are available. I did go on Susan Corman's site to see where I can find a cancer support group. I did find where, if I had to have chemo, where I could get a scarf and, to tie my head up. But I did not know I could get transportation. I was paying for my own transportation when my finances allowed it. But like I said, if you're not educated, if you're not shown the way, because even when I was seeing my oncologist did not share with me, well, if you can't make it to your appointments, we can get transportation for you. Nobody told me that.
They don't. Well, that's why it's important for myself and for other organizations like myself to be able to share these things, because you are, if once again, it depends on your insurance and the state and all of that other stuff, but those are things that you can always make a phone call and find out what you qualify for if you know that you can, like you said. But your insurance will pay for bras, and it will pay for wigs, and there are all type of things that you can get, but it's, as you said, a matter of knowing. So that's where the advocacy and that sharing becomes so important. That's why I do this. That's why I want us to be able to continue to tell our stories and talk to each other, because you never know who knows what and what resource you can help. Maybe it wasn't for us, but maybe somebody else coming behind us will know, and they'll know, oh, let me call my insurance company. Let me call the state. Let me see who and what can be provided for me, because there are resources out there. Now, for African American and women, that's why I started a nonprofit for African American and women. We don't know. The information is not readily available to us. We have to dig. We have to share one to another in order for us to find out. But there are some resources out there for us. It's just, as I said, not as readily given, but that's healthcare in general, that for women of color, we have to do more digging. We have to do more asking. And so, I wasn't surprised. But there are resources available for us depending on your insurance and your hospital and, your care providers, just different things. There are, even with the state, while you were in treatment, you could have had a caregiver, someone that could have been paid to come and care for you. I found this out a little bit later, but someone could have literally came and cared for you so many hours a week that you're cooking, you're washing, whatever you needed, they could have done that for you. Now, it's different from state to state. It is definitely different from state to state. However, we have to start putting this out there, this information, so that we can know, hey, let me call the state and see what I qualify for. Let me ask my insurance company what I qualify for, because there are things, and they're not going to tell us. It's hidden in the book. What they say, if you want to hide information, put it in a book. You won't know, but it's there. It's there we just have to know who to contact and who to ask.
Yeah. That's why I try to talk to people. I mean, my story might not be like somebody else's. But if there's just one thing you can get out of what I say, then I've done what I was supposed to do. Because I know, like last night, I was even saying, I didn't feel worthy enough to be your guest. And I know that
you are the star here. You're the star. You all come on here and tell your stories and help me spread the word. This is for all of us. This is for women that look like you and I, that we want to make sure that we can do something to help someone else that wasn't done for us, that we didn't know about. That's what this is about. It's about, maybe there's a woman in LA who's feeling her worst, who feels like she looks ugly. And at the end, when we give the information, she'll reach out to Angela and say, hey, can you do my makeup for me? I just want to feel beautiful today. This is what it's about. There may be someone who says, you know what, you've been through what I've been through, Elva. Can we connect? Can we talk? Can you help me figure out how to reach out for a therapist, because I'm still stuck and haven't even reached out for a therapist. Or, they may contact me and say, hey, I want to join your support group. That's why we do this. So, girl, you're more than worthy. I'm grateful that you're here, because without you all, there's no testimonies to share. There's no one to hear your story. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate
it. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Definitely. So finish telling me about your expanders, and you said that you are smaller where you can see you. I feel like he's boosting me up. I'm like, I look at my clothes sometime and I'm like, wait, where did all of that come from?
You know what? I used to laugh at myself. I used to laugh at myself. I used to say, well, at least you don't have to worry about me when I'm in the casket, because the babies will be standing straight up. They ain't going nowhere.
It was
But
better.
yeah, it was an experience. And then when I finally got him to where I wanted it to be, and that was the other thing. My doctor did not tell me how to properly wear my mastectomy bras after I had gotten my implants. So my implants started shifting, and I have to go back in so they can get them set right.
Girl, I done had four surgeries on one on the right side. I had four surgeries because my one
No.
implant, it would not stay in the proper place. So I've had reconstruction done on the right side four times. I am literally getting I don't have nipples yet. I'm literally getting my nipples in 2 weeks now on the 25th of June after I had surgery in 2019. After all
Mm-hmm.
this time, I'm finally getting nipples because I literally just had surgery in November of 2023 because they do shift sometimes. It happens. And these are some of the things, the after effects that as a breast cancer survivor that you may have to deal with forever that people behind the scenes would never know. But I've had four surgeries on.
I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, something is wrong. I didn't know it. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm learning about my body on something that I should already know, but it's just going in a different way now. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm here with you. So I guess I'll
I
be here
was
with you every third
I
Sunday
was
now
getting
because I got
ready
to
to
hear
say it
everybody
is
else's.
so good to connect with other survivors who've gone through, or if you're new to, getting ready to prepare, so that you can look for some of the warning signs or some of the things that other women have gone through, so you can know, oh, I'm normal, because it affects a whole lot of things. It affects your sexual life. It affects a whole lot of things. Yes, it does.
Yeah. And my kids didn't believe me about brain fog. I said, just keep on living.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just
Oh
keep on
yeah.
living. I'm writing everything down now or dictating because it's like I just thought about this, but how come it can't project out of me? What is going on with me? So it's something else. It's real.
Yeah, brain fog is real. I experience it to this day. It's getting a little bit better, but it is definitely real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's it about me. I'm just trying to live my best life. That's all I can do. I
So,
Mother's Day, Mother's Day, well, Mother's Day weekend, no, the
mhm,
weekend before. I said, what can
mhm.
I do different? So I went and got my nose pierced. My kids was like, why you get your nose pierced? I was like,
Can you see
well, you
mine?
have yours done. My granddaughter has hers done. So why can't I get mine done? I mean, hey,
You
just
see my little
living.
piercings? You see them? I have
And
have
I'm like,
three little piercings there.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. You waited
Look,
until you were 63 years old. I said, hey, I got my first tattoo at 60. So what can I say? You got to do
you
something to
have to
keep life
do.
going.
I was gonna say, do whatever it takes for you to gain your power or to feel powerful again about yourself. Whichever way you do that, that's what you do. Everybody is different in how
Different.
they gain their power back, because
Mhm.
this thing does leave you feeling powerless. It takes and takes and takes so much that it does. For about a week or so ago, I was having tenderness in my breast, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" I don't know, but instantly you go back to, okay, is the cancer back or what? It takes your power. Even when you
Mhm.
feel like you're here, it can come back and take that power. So what do? You pray through it and you say, you know what? I'm going to keep being powerful and I'm just going to do whatever it is that I need to do. So I go back for another MRI in a few weeks, but um do whatever. If getting your nose pierced made you feel good, girl, go do it. Do whatever is gonna make you feel good and feel powerful to continue to fight through this thing, because um it's definitely something that you have to continue to fight through.
Yeah.
It's mental, it's physical, it's emotional, the whole
Yes.
nine, the whole nine.
Yes.
So, I'm going to be so excited when I get some nipples in a couple of weeks, but I think I'm going to cry too because,
Can't hear
um,
you.
I'm going to feel emotional because I'm going to have nipples again.
Can't hear you, Lakeisha.
I said I'm going to feel so emotional when I get some nipples again because I haven't had any in a couple of years.
Okay.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, these texts
I'm
technology.
sorry. I'm muted. I muted myself trying to open up these fruit snacks for my grandson. Lord Jesus. I'm trying to buy him with snacks right now to just, be quiet and let me have this time for a minute. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
He's
Mm-hmm.
advantage of it.
He's trying to give me kisses. He's trying to do everything to get over here in
He
this
wants your
camera.
attention.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but even doing that, like I said, it's going to be emotional, but it's going to make me feel powerful again. It's going to give me some more power to say, hey, I'm taking back control of, because she was like, well, what do you want them to look like? Do you want them to be big, little? I was like, wait a minute, I get to choose what I want them to look like. So, you just have to find the humor and find just the joy and the gratefulness in the fact that I'm still alive, the fact that it's been 4 years for me now and it has not come back. It's, 4 years and counting. The fact that every day you're getting stronger, your brain fog is going away. It's still there. Ooh, it's rough, but it's getting stronger. Every day you get to tell your story because you feel more comfortable and more empowered to tell it. And something you say is
Mm-hmm.
going to help somebody else. And that's the thing that keeps you going. And then the other thing that keeps me going is the fact that women are still dying from this disease, that there is no cure yet, but we didn't put people on the moon and we have done all types of other things, but we still don't have a cure for breast cancer. So
Mm-hmm.
that keeps me wanting to fight. It keeps me wanting to say, hey, healthcare insurance, you need to, why we got to wait till we're 40 to get a mammogram? Why do we have to, why? So it keeps
Mm-hmm.
me pushing to want to say why and to challenge and keep moving forward so that women who come along, I have two daughters. I have, about 10, 12 nieces. I want them to have a different option than I had, than to have to wait till I'm 40 or to wait to, I want them to have different options. And in order for that to happen, we have to keep sharing our stories and keep pushing forward and keep challenging insurances and medical and science. And I don't even know if you were offered a clinical trial. Were you?
Nope.
There you go.
Nope.
My doctor never said anything to me about clinical trials, but I learned about them through Arnidra, who was running Circle of Promise, who introduced me to Ricky Farley. And she runs clinical trials, or she, helps African American women get introduced to clinical trials because we don't get introduced to them enough. So once
Mm-hmm.
again, all of these things and those clinical trials are to benefit us as women of color. Because if you are
Mm-hmm.
only running clinical trials with Caucasian women, then how do you know what affects an African American woman? So where we are thinking we're afraid to be a part of these trials, no, we need to be a part of these trials so that we can find cures and find medications. Because I've also been told this last clinical trial, I think that Ricky Farland, her company or someone connected to her, I don't want to quote her, but I remember being in a training and hearing her daughter saying that a medication that was affecting treating Caucasian women was not treating African American women the same. It was having a different effect, which I can totally agree or believe that because we are affected by triple negative more than white women. So why is that? Caucasian women. Why is that? Because there's a different type of gene or something that affects us differently than it affects them. So I could believe that as far as the medication being the same thing. We need to be a part of these clinical trials. We have to be in order for them to continue to find medications that affect us, for us, by us, for us. We have to be a
Mm-hmm.
part of them. But if you're not invited to the table, you can't eat. You got to be
True.
invited to the table.
True.
So as long as I have breath in my body, I will continue to, and I have to kick it up a notch and do some more. But we are part of this breasty club, so we have to do our part. And sharing your story, Elva, is a part of that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm glad I was
So,
asked. And I
yes.
hope, people come on. If they didn't come on the live session, they'll go to the YouTube and look at it on YouTube and
Yes.
get some kind of release or relief
Yes.
for the things that they did not know.
Yes. So I also wrote a book. I wrote a book
Okay.
with 11 other survivors. And in this book, they tell their stories. And Arnidra is actually an author in this book. She discussed the Circle of Promise at that time, which was Susan G. Coleman's initiative. Now they have a new one. They don't have Circle of Promise anymore. But at the back of the book, we talk about, there's a thesaurus. Well, there is a dictionary. There's a glossary. There's a thesaurus, whatever you want it to be, that has different words that talk about breast cancer, that talk about drains and different flaps and different kinds of breast cancer and different kinds of medication. And it's just a resource to help people who are ignorant about breast cancer. So it's called 12 Shades of Breast Cancer, by the way. I'm sorry. You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to our website, and it's on our website. But that resource, I remember one of my publisher who actually published the book for us. I remember her saying, because she became a breast cancer survivor. And I remember her saying, Lakeisha, I went and grabbed the book, and I remember flipping through it because she had been through it and she knew all of our stories. But she said she remember flipping through the back and reading some of the words. And she said when she went to her doctor's appointment, she was more well versed on it because she had read and she knew to ask certain questions about certain things. So that's always amazing because, like we said, we're doing this to be able to help others be educated about this disease so they can know what to look for. The signs, early detection is the key. It saves lives. We know this. It's powerful. Your story is, what is it? Each one, teach one. Your story is that story. So I want to say thank you for sharing. Thank you, Angela, for doing what you do. I'm going to be contacting you because I actually am going to be doing an event in LA in October. More information to come. We're going to try to do it big. So I'm going to call you this week because you've been doing this, so you might have some people that can help with this. But we're doing it in October, of course. That's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your services. I'm going to need your help. Yeah. So if people wanted to find you, Angela, where would they find you at? What's your contact information?
Yes. You can email factfoundation.inc at Gmail. That's the email. And you can also go to Instagram. It's Fact Foundation Inc. at Fact Foundation Inc. And
thank you. And Elva, are you ready to have someone contact you if they wanted to connect with you to help them through their journey right now? Are you ready for that? I can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry. No, I was asking, do you have contact information if someone wanted to contact you to connect with you about this breast cancer journey?
No.
No.
I have you. That's about it. But otherwise, nope.
That's okay.
Don't have nobody.
You know what? It's okay. Send them on over to our website. It's www.healher2foundation, HEALHER2foundation.org. If someone wanted to contact us for support or to join our support group, or just for services, period, for our program, and they can go there. We on all social medias as heal_her, the number 2. This replay will definitely be on our YouTube channel, which is Heal Her 2 Foundation. All of our replays is on YouTube. If anyone wants to listen to it, they can go back and listen to all of our replays. And there have been some good ones on there too that has had some great information, some definitely some heartbreaking ones, but it's there. And please share our contact information with anyone. If there's someone that is actually in the midst of treatment and could use this little pink box, this little special pink box, please let us know, and we will send it to them free of charge, no charge to them. And as you said, you have me, Elva. You can share my contact information. You know where it's at. I'm on Instagram is I am Dr. McGee. Facebook is they can go to the Heal Her 2 page. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all my contacts. I'm everywhere. But yeah, so I appreciate you too so much. I thank you. I thank you. I don't know what else you could have been doing today. It is Father's Day. I done dragged y'all away from y'all fathers. I seen you back there over pulling up the top like you trying to cook something. It's Father's Day. I understand. So, but I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I got the shrimp and the salmon going.
See, that's what I'm saying. I done interrupted the Father's Day celebration. I will keep you both posted on our upcoming events. I know we should have 2 of them coming up in LA. Hopefully in July we can do one, and then October for sure. Our big one is in October, but I will keep you posted. And Angela, I will call you this week because I have the date already for the event, so we can see if you can put that on your calendar and help us out. That would be most amazing. I appreciate you. Ladies. The replay, like I said, will be on the YouTube, and it's wrapping on our page as well. So if you have any questions or anything, you got my number. Everybody, this has been us, another Survivor Sunday. We made it. This is June. We have done 6 months consistently. We hanging in here. Survivors are sharing and caring, and I am grateful. And until next month, Dr. Lakeisha McGee signing out from the Heal Her 2 Foundation.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. I can send you guys a copy too if you want it. Okay. All right. All right. Have the rest of your Father's Day, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wait, did I stop? I did. Thank you, Elva. I will contact you.